Hello, everybody. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes just to kind of catch up. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because everybody needs more coffee. La la la. What have you guys been up to? Trying to wait and see if anybody can see it yet. It's always exciting. Oh, hey, it's up. Fabulous. Okay. All right. So, it's been a very exciting week. Very, very exciting week. I've told you guys all about Charlize, my dirty little secret. She was originally somebody else, but now she's Charlize. She's Charlize. She's here. She's here, and she is proud, and she is very, very loud. So, she's going to have a new book out in February. Sabrina is going to have a new book out in February. And Shayne is going to have a new book out in February. So all of my personalities are going to be very, very prolific in the next couple of months. Jana sent me a few questions. One was about print books availability. The thing with print books is I took them down because I redid all the covers in the first quarter last year. So I took all the print books down, and I'm working on the covers now. I can only do a few at a time because unfortunately I waited to start going back into that. I haven't really had the time to do it until I waited to do it until I have like 25 books that I need to put in print. So yes, all of the books are going back into print. Barter System, the Barter System series will be first, and then the Great Outdoors series will be the second set that goes into print. I have to do just a few at a time, and because there's so many, there's 8 now in the Barter System. By the time it goes into print, there'll be 9 because the Volume 2 companion will be out. So it's just a ton of books to do. I estimate that if I do like 3 a week, because I can't make the PDF covers, I end up sending everything over to my BFF Alex, and she creates the covers for me. So we've both been scheduled to the wall with our day jobs. So she's going to help me do that. We're going to do it a little bit at a time and get back out. Someone else asked if all of the updates and the extras are going to be in the print books. Yes, I will be going back through, making sure every single print copy is the new version with all changes, all updates. I am really excited to get them back in print with the new covers that all blend so beautifully together. I'm very, very excited about that. That's going to look so beautiful on my shelf. Let's see. I will ultimately have Sabrina's and Charlize's stuff in print too, just on Amazon. I'm not going to do any signed copies or anything like that of those. I'm probably going to wait and do... Oh, hello. These things I don't ever understand. Let's just tuck that in. We'll just pretend it doesn't exist. What was I saying? Oh, print books for Charlize and for Sabrina. I will eventually have those. Because the books for Charlize are a little bit smaller, I'll do them in like probably 3s. I don't know. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do it yet. And the ones for Sabrina, those will be a little bit longer coming. I have a ton of paranormal. Paranormal is actually what I wrote primarily in the beginning. And I've always loved reading it. I don't think I'm particularly good at paranormal, but I love it so much. I love it so much. And with me, of course, it's mostly about the character development, the plots and stuff like that. And because I don't think I'm really, really good at the whole blending of the paranormal to all of that. That's why I originally, took it down and unpublished it off of Shayne. I gave a ton of paranormal books away the first 2 years that I was publishing, just for Revenge and Woman's Best Friend, I think I gave away a total of like 15,000 free books on Amazon free days. I really shot myself in the foot with all of my books. For Shayne's, for my paranormal stuff for under Shayne, I shot myself in the foot because I gave away so much free stuff that it devalued. It completely devalued my writing. Like, it didn't have any worth to it at all. The first year alone, I gave away, that I learned how to do Kindle free days, I gave away like 40,000 books. So my books had nothing. That's why I don't do them at all anymore. I do rarely mark them down, but that's why I don't do it anymore. I get a lot of questions about people saying, when am I going to put my books on free? I don't do that anymore because I found that it completely torpedoes my sales for the longest time. It like causes a 3-month backlash. Whereas if I mark a book down to 99 cents, or because now I have all of my books except for the two that are Roadside Assistance is permanently free. So that can't be on KDP Select, which is why I can't find that on Kindle Unlimited. And then Choice of Subjects, because I give that away on my website for free if you sign up, that can't be on Kindle Unlimited either. So other than that, all of my other books are on Kindle Unlimited. So, it's really opened up a lot of options for all of my books. Let me see if I can find some of the... I'm finally starting to see the... Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm such a squirrel. Just forgive me. Hi. Hi, guys. Oh, hey, Tiffany. Hey, girl. How you doing? How you doing? Missy, you're here this time. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I can understand watching it when it's all done. And also, too, then you can just sort of laugh freely at me. It's really fun. I'm super excited for Paranormal 2, Sierra. I'm so excited for it. I love it. Just werewolves alone, I think I have 12 books. It's something really stupid. I love werewolves. They're like my favorite thing ever. So I've written more books about werewolves than anything else, but I've written about genies, and I've written about vampires, and I've written about angels and demons and elves, and, I'm just a lunatic, and whatever seems to strike my fancy, that's what I'm going to write a story on. And as you guys have seen in the last week, it can go anywhere. It can go anywhere. Oh, you have... Oh, Casey, I'm so sorry you have to work. Oh, yeah, can you see Max behind me? Yeah, he's my little live event company. He keeps me company every time. He is the sweetest dog. Best boyfriend ever. Best freaking male companion in my entire life. I'm not even kidding you. Unconditional love, and he will eat the face of anybody who looks threatening. I freaking love this dog. Maximus. Oh, you're such a good boy. He's such a good boy. I'm telling you, he's the best dog. Let's see. I'm so glad you guys love my lunacy, because this is what you get. Okay, so what's a couple of other questions? Oh, I did want to say thank you guys so much. I had no idea. Jana just told me right before I signed on that you guys have done, I think she said 17 reviews for Volume 1, the companion guide, and that you've done like 11 reviews for Charlize's first book. Oh my God. I love you guys so much. Thank you. That helps me really. Like, you don't understand. That really helps a lot. I'm having problems with Amazon setting up Charlize's author page because they're still trying to do it under the mail, which is, that's why I had to actually I have to release everything that I originally published under him. And you'll also see that, unfortunately, for those of you who did buy one of the 3 books, or got it for free, one of the 3 books that I published as Paranormal under Shayne, in order to put it under a new author name, it's giving me all kinds of issues, like technical issues. I have to set up a complete different entity on Amazon. So I do apologize. Fortunately, anyone who did happen to stumble on my male little secret last year, fortunately it was only 3 books, and they were very, they're not expensive or anything. And same with the paranormal. It was only 2 or 3 books, and they were very inexpensive. So I do apologize that any of those will have to be repurchased, because there's just no way around it. But the plus side to that is that you'll be able to keep the old version of paranormal stuff. You'll be able to keep it under Shayne, and you'll be able to have the new Sabrina stuff, which is going to be 10,000 times better, because, I actually have a little bit better grasp on technical writing now. So thank you for the reviews. I am so grateful. That helps me with, I know I have 3 author names now. I know it's a lot. But anytime that you guys, even if you can just do it a star ranking or just a single sentence, anything like that, anything helps. And it's amazing for you guys to have done so many on 2 brand new books. These books have only been out for 2 weeks. 2 weeks for one and 1 week for the other. So I'm floored and so appreciative. Let me see. What do we... Vampires, yes, I'm super excited about vampires. 3 names is not a lot. It's funny you say that, because I'll be doing any young adult stuff under another pen name. And I'll be doing any of my nonfiction stuff, because I actually have several relationship books under... I was originally going to do everything under myself, because I do already have a byline as Shayne McClendon in nonfiction. But I think I'm probably going to launch the nonfiction stuff completely separately, just because I have to be really careful. A lot of people that are the demographic of the health industry are, I don't know how to put this. They're a little uptight. They're super, I don't want to use the word prude, but sex is like a, it's a lot of what would Jesus do kind of thing. So I don't think I can have anything linking to that could possibly be connected to my erotica, and especially not Charlize, because that hoe is dirty. She dirty. I'm telling y'all. Let me see what else. Sabrina will have a new book out in February. As Jana can probably tell you, I have been bouncing off the walls like a life-size pinball game for the last 2 weeks, because I want to write everything at the same time. And you guys may have noticed that I have to kind of release that pressure a little bit. That's why I've been doing the live writing sessions, which I absolutely love. Conservative. Excellent. That's an excellent, that's a good word. That's a super hyper conservative. You have to be very careful. Even when you're talking about breast cancer, you have to be very careful. I've been in the health industry for the last 6-7 years, longer than I've been writing my fiction. And you can't use words like nipple. You can't use those. So if anyone were to, follow me as nonfiction, buy one of my nonfiction books, and then trace it back to all of my dirty secrets over here, I would probably be ostracized. And for now, I still depend on that income, so no nipples. Let's see. Hoity-toity. Oh, I love that too. Let's see. Yeah, a pit of books. Yeah, it is. Let me just explain to you that in one day, I can send Jana, I don't know, 5 stories, 6 stories. And she's like, which one are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. This one looks so good. I really want to dive into it. They haven't read this one yet, or they've read this one, but I updated it and doubled the size. And she's just like, it's okay. Just do it. Just do it. You can do it. But you got to stick with something. And she's right. And that's a real struggle for me. So one of the things that I've been doing the last 3 weeks now. I think I've done it 2 Fridays and a Saturday, yesterday. Is it helps me take a little bit of the pressure off, so that I can think a little bit more clearly. So when I come on, and I really wish, I did mention this last night, but I really wish I could know when I'm going to need it so that I could schedule it ahead, because I know like Rachel Gump, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's in like Australia. I have a few people that are Australia and Great Britain and, Germany, all over the place. And they miss those sessions because, I do them really late at night. Whether it's like 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, it's like the middle of the night for them. So I would love to be able to schedule it, but I don't know when it's going to hit. So it's just sort of a hit or miss thing. And my brain's like a pressure cooker, and I'm going to blow, and I need to run on and just say, hey, post me some photos because I just need to do it now. I love doing that. It is so much fun. I feel like it's just it's like such a relief for me. Like last night, I did 5 stories. I don't know, under an hour sometime, and I feel like when I walked away, I think I had to pee so bad. I had to pee so bad. It hit me all of a sudden. And as soon as I got up, Max decided that it was his time to pee too. So I ended up taking him outside, and my son came out and he said, how's it going? How's everything going? I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. Like, I feel like it's almost like a migraine, but it's not really a migraine. It's not pain like that. It's just pressure. I can't really explain it any other way. And I just need to get a whole bunch of stuff out as quickly as possible. And that helps me. And I was reading some of the stories today. I know yesterday was a little dark. I do apologize, you guys. Yesterday, every story had death in it. Every single one. And I am so sorry. Oh, goodness. Nikki, stick with Hollow. All right, let me see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Jana can't tag anybody because, let me tell you, she gets thrown in Facebook jail so often because she's constantly posting licks. That's a little funny right there. She's constantly posting links all over the place for books and the websites and stuff. And she does the admin stuff on Always the Good Girl. So she gets thrown in Facebook jail because they're just like, wow, you're not supposed to post this many links. Ugh, you suck. And then she screams and yells, and then she feels better because she's out of Facebook jail again. But I really wish I could tag you guys. I don't know how to do that. If someone wants to figure out a way, I don't know if we have a chat that is only used to notify people of when we're doing like a writing session, and then I could just say, hey, about to start a writing session if you guys want to join. I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure that's even possible. I don't know. But I figure if we had something like that, I don't check messages. Literally, I do. I really, really don't. I keep one window open for Jana and another one that's all of us, and all the admins. And I don't check messages. I just don't. So it would have to be something that I could kind of go on, just let you guys know what's happening, and then go right back off because I'm not going to see anything that's on it. Jana is amazing at following all my messages up and stuff like that. Yvonne, Angela, Mo, Brittany. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, I'm going to burn in hell if I'm missing somebody. I don't think so. Anyway, all of the admins run the groups, and they are all dealing with, they have much busier lives than I do. Jobs and kids and other halves. Ugh. And illness and crazy stuff happening all the time. So Not that Jana doesn't have all that stuff. Jana's just I don't know where she gets the energy. I really don't. And she deals with me, which I don't know how she puts up with me. Seriously, I don't. Woman needs a medal for like sainthood. But Jana is usually on. The other ladies are usually on, but sporadically. So you can always get any of them for any reason. But Jana's the one, if you have like a specific question, if there's any kind of like a time of the essence sort of thing, she'll get back to you. Like, she's really good about that. Cause I don't know. I have hundreds of messages in my Facebook thing. And if I start down that road, I'm never coming up for air. Like, ever, again, ever. So, yes. Oh, I'm so happy you guys love Jana. I love Jana too. She is my superwoman. Okay, did I have another question? Was there something else? Oh, Hollow. Okay, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this the last live event, but just to let you guys know, there are only 2 existing stories that have to be re-released before I can release the first actual it's gonna, it'll actually be Hollow Universe, because you have to have those for the timeline. Who is Hollow? Did somebody say who is? Are you kidding? Who is Hollow? Yeah. For those of you, if there are people out there right now that don't know who Hollow is, I don't even know what to say right now. I don't know. I would suggest either reading Completely Wrecked if you're not into my edgier stuff. And if you are into the edgier stuff, start with the Barter System and work your way there. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It takes a while to get to Hollow, but he's such a fascinating character that's been in all of the books. Even from the beginning, even when I didn't even know he was an important character, he was in the very first edition of the Barter System, and I didn't even know he was important. So, one quick thing. I did get an invitation to. I get invites for book signings a lot, and I can't usually do them because they're far away, or I'm just backed up with deadlines, or I know I'm going to be backed up with deadlines. But I just yesterday did get an invite for one that's taking place in Indianapolis, which I think is about 6 or 8 hours for me. I haven't seen any so far this year for Oklahoma, but I'm pretty sure people have probably given up on me here in Oklahoma because I had to cancel everything last year. But if I do go to any of those, of course, any signings this year, it would be probably between like late April to middle of August. I can, if I do any signings during those times, then I'll let you know. And if you guys are in the area, maybe you can come say hi. I don't know right now. Oh my God, a book signing. Sierra. Yeah, there's a lot of books. The thing is that when I originally unpublished everything 2 years ago, I think I had 30 books or 31 books, something like that. And I just started unpublishing everything. I unpublished everything down to 6. Now, something that I did want to, I was kind of going to let you guys know later on, but and I'll go through questions because it's like the questions aren't moving, and then the comments aren't moving, and then all of a sudden there's like a ton. So if I get distracted, you understand. Hold on, I'm gonna get a sip of coffee. It's just that good. It's that good. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot. I had a lot of books. I had over 30 books, and I know that my readers, especially the admins who have been here from day one, some of the readers who have been here from day one, back before I even published, when I was just running my Always the Good Girl Facebook page, they loved the original stuff. And I love the original stuff. but I think I loved the potential of the original stuff more than I actually loved the books. So when I unpublished everything down to 6, now I have a couple of caveats with that. Of the 6 that were left, Hermit, Completely Wrecked, Yes to Everything, Love of the Game. I can't remember which other ones were there. I can't remember. 4. I may have gone down to 4. Those 4, at the moment that I unpublished most of my catalog, those 4 were the most recent books I'd written. Now, the reason I bring that up is for 2 reasons. One, it was when I edited and treated the Barter System in the summer, 2 months after I took everything down. It was then that I realized exactly what I was doing wrong as far as head hopping, as far as repetition, redundant phrases, things like that. Because I do write super fast. And I mean, you guys saw it, like last night, or if you've been here with any of the sessions, I do write really fast. Now there's errors. There's going to be errors. When you type that fast, when my brain is just woo, 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 just like bouncing around in my skull, I do have a lot of errors. And when I initially started writing, when I finally just said, you know what, my kids are older, I was working from home for my corporation that eventually laid me off a year and a half later. And I had all this downtime because I wasn't commuting anymore. Things just weren't as crazy for me. And I started writing. And I wrote super fast. The original edition, the original version of the Barter System, I wrote in 8 days. At the time, it was 115,000 words. I wrote it in 8 days. And I needed to get it out. It was kind of like the whole thing with last night, where I just felt like I was going to explode if I didn't write something, and I could not go into something that already existed to work on that. So in the beginning, I had crushed down my writing so much that I just lost it. I just went completely crazy. I just wrote until I was like high on it. Just probably in the first 18 months that I wrote, I think Alex and I talked about it. We calculated I did somewhere between 3.5 and 5 million words in 18 months. That's just the fiction. I was already doing content writing way back then. So I just spun it all out. I just spun it all out. So when I unpublished everything down to the 4 books, those 4 books were the books that were most recently treated. I say treated, but this is the problem. The reason I bring them up is because last year, at the end of the year, the last couple of weeks of December, when I was trying to desperately get some days off, I pulled up something for one of the Love of the Game stories. And I realized that there's still some stuff that I had missed as far as head hopping. Now, this is the problem. I do not have the money to afford editing services and stuff like that. Not that I want anybody really editing my stuff anyway, because it's kind of interesting to go back and see the mistakes that I made before, and how much I've grown. And basically, sometimes when I reread my own stuff, it allows me to make connections that I don't make the first time that I go through it. But I will say that of those 4 books, I feel that The Hermit is in excellent shape. I'm sure that I've probably missed something here or there, but I feel like The Hermit is really solid as far as technical writing, as far as the details. I feel that The Hermit is really solid. I feel the same about Completely Wrecked. And I feel that Yes to Everything is really strong. It's very difficult for me to go back into that story. But I do think it does need a little bit more, because I did notice some more head hopping in that last year as well that I had missed. So over time, I may eventually go back into Love of the Game and just make sure I didn't miss anything. That's why those two books specifically, Yes to Everything and Love of the Game, are not going to be in print right away, because I'm not sending anything to print that hasn't been gone through, like, hard. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love The Hermit. I love The Hermit. I love Hermit. There's two. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that tangent. There's there's technically more stories in the miniature world of The Hermit, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but it also fits snugly into the Hollow universe. So you're going to see more of them. You're going to see more of those. Let me just, oh my God, all these comments just came up on my phone. Hold on one second. Coffee. Oh, yes. All right. Oh, yeah, word vomit. You're not kidding, Serena. It really is word vomit. Okay, right now, Cheryl, there's nothing of mine in print. There's nothing of mine in print. Everything that I did for fire sales, oh my God, Karen, by the way, I have your Hudson. I know. I'm a lunatic. I have your Hudson. I just want to mention that while I'm on here. I have it. It's sitting right here with your name on it. I'm a horrible person. Just a horrible person. Just so you guys know, I don't have time to do it this week. But when I was doing that massive purge at the end of December, when I was going through like boxes and stuff that honestly, I thought I had gone through them before I moved, big divorce and all that stuff. I went through all these boxes, found all this horrible stuff that I had carried with me from place to place. I was so happy to get rid of it. Long story short, I found 9 print copies of the original Damaged. The original Damage that, for those of you who remember when I did it with Kickstarter, I have 9 copies of those print versions. And eventually I'll do a fire sale with those. And so you can get those. They're because I'm not keeping 9 copies. That's ridiculous. But, yeah, any books that I've sold in print, they've been off print, I want to say maybe since summer. But they'll be on print. They'll be back in print again, by summer. And the reason that's my goal is because between now and the end of June, I have so many things that are coming out that it's going to really back up. Like if I don't do the 25 or 27 books now, over the next couple of months, by the time I get to summer, it's going to be almost 40 books. It's like never ending. It's just a never ending vicious cycle. So I've got to get the books back in print, and just try to break it into smaller pieces. It's a massive undertaking. Okay, sorry, just reading your comments. Oh yeah, Jana's the best person to talk to if you don't know who Hollow is. Yeah, Yes to Everything does make me a complete wreck. Obsession is one of the 2 books that I mentioned. Has to be released before the first Hollow book comes out. I have never released the Quiet series on its own before, but those will be released on their own. Just the 3 Quiet stories are going into one book, because they have very strong, as I'm sure those of you who've seen everywhere saying, oh, you need to read the Just a Little series. My books, my stories in the Just a Little series are the Quiet series. So I'm going to release those completely. Just my books, my 3 stories by themselves, mainly because Alex has taken a complete sabbatical. She's swamped with work. She does not have time for the big side of things. And so I said, no, I'm going to get these back out because they're pivotal. They're pivotal to the timeline for both universes, for TB, because they're also another bridge story. So they're pivotal to the several different series, actually, to Barter System, to Hollow, to the Yes to Everything set, to the great outdoors, and the core of it all, which you guys are going to see in the summer. Let's see. Yes to Everything. By the way, guys, Yes to Everything has 3 more books in the series. And I think I'm finally getting to a place where I can go back into that horrible, into that. I just can't. All right. Let's see. Oh, so Obsession is one of the other books. Oh, a lot of people thought that Ryan was hollow. A lot of people thought that. Kelly, no, I actually have 27 books right now. 27 books are out right now, digitally. And those are the ones that I have to get back in print. And then between now and summer, there's probably going to be another 8 to 10 because I'm publishing under the 3 names. So there's going to be another 8 to 10 more books. So it's just going to get out of hand really quickly. So I need to start getting those back in print. Okay, Casey, as far as signed copies, when they come out in print, I will do signed copies within reason. There are 2 ways that we can do this. Either I can buy them and upcharge you because I have to pay for shipping to me and then shipping to you. Sign it, send it off to you. I will tell you that this is a really crap system. I'm very bad at it. That's why I stopped doing it. So the other thing that you can choose to do is to buy it on Amazon. I'm going to keep, of course, the prices as low as I possibly can. Buy it on Amazon and just send it to me with a shipping envelope inside it so that when I get it, I can take it out, sign it, put it back in your envelope, and off it goes. That's up to you guys. I can't take on too much of that shipping stuff. I am horrid at it. Karen has been waiting for the copy of Hudson from the copy that she bought from Hudson for, I don't know. I don't even want to say. I know it's a long time. I'm super embarrassed right now. So I'm bad at the shipping. So I really don't want to do that if I can avoid it. But I'm always happy to sign anything you guys want. So if you buy it, if you send it to me, I'll send it right back. If there's an envelope in there, it's so easy for me to just pack it right back up and stick it out there. I love the print book. As far as me, I prefer reading on my Kindle, but for my own print books, it's kind of just a little silly vanity thing. You know, I just want to see them. There's 3 more. There's stories and everything. Jackson, and then there's also the satellite stories of the guys, and Jeanette and Sydney. So those are going to be smaller stories, Jeanette and Sydney's stories. I don't really know. I never really know how big a book's going to be until I get into it. So we'll see how that goes. As far as audiobooks, I have not done audiobooks yet. I will tell you honestly that I did put Hermit in audiobook, and I haven't. I regret doing it. I really, really regret doing it. It's a big... I'm not saying that I should record it. I'm definitely not. I do not have the voice for audiobooks. But the problem is that when I read, there are certain places that have a stronger inflection or something like that. I'm talking about when I'm just mentally reading to myself, whether it's my work or someone else's work. I did not feel invested in the Hermit audio copy at all. I just didn't. I didn't think that the voice was right. I felt that it was very strange that it was a woman's voice, because the Hermit is, to me, I understand that everybody thinks it's Daphne's story, but to me, it's Ryan's story, and it should have been a male reader. The problem is this: a lot of audio companies will not, like, I did not want to do The Hermit first. I felt that was a poor choice for a first audiobook because it does have some intense themes in it. I wasn't sure how that was really going to translate. So I wanted to do something lighter, fun. I actually thought about Being Delightful. I thought that would be a wonderful audiobook at the time. And they didn't want to do it because of the sexual content. And they wouldn't touch the barter system. So with audiobooks, I think that that's going to kind of be a little bit of an uphill battle. It's something that I'd love to do just because a lot of people ask me for it, but it's just not a priority for me because I'm never going to listen to it in audiobook, and I don't want to fight with people to get them to do my audiobook and have to constantly beg and cry because I have the word pussy or dick in my work more than the other authors. It's like I know people love it, but it's just not something I think is going to really translate for my work. We'll have to see over time. Maybe there will be a company that specifically does it for Audible, that does focus more on erotica. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been to signings in a while. That's usually where, authors, we talk to each other, kind of hash things out, figure things out. But, right now I can't promise about audiobooks. Yeah, Obsession. Oh, I'm so excited about Obsession, guys. As I told you, I'm all over the map. Like right now, I'm editing Silence, which is the 3 quiet books that are all together. They have to be all together because I'm not one of those dicks that's going to freaking publish something and leave you hanging until I can get you the, because it's horrible. The first 2 stories in the series end on cliffhangers. So I'm putting all 3 of those stories in one book, and I'm calling it Silence. I'm super excited about that. I love those stories. I love Zoe. I love Noelle. I love Caroline. I just absolutely love them. Can't wait to get that out. But the other thing, my brain keeps going back and forth between 3 projects. 1 is Silence. 2 is the volume 2 for the volume 2 TBS Companion, which, oh my gosh, there's so much good stuff going to be in that. You're going to flip out. I can't wait. And the third thing is Obsession. And I read Obsession again in the middle of the night a few days ago. And I think I mentioned to you guys that it's already got 10 more chapters in front of where the book originally started. So it's huge. It is huge. It's a huge difference. There's 10 chapters ahead. And then there's a lot of stuff that you guys are not going to see coming. It's going to be so exciting. So those are the 3 projects I'm kind of ricocheting between right now, plus the new Charlize stuff and the new Sabrina stuff. So it's a lot. There's a lot going on right now. And I'm just trying to kind of keep my head focused, keep myself in like one, going in one direction and finishing one thing and then moving on to the other. It's not something I'm very good at. I never tell people that Yes to Everything is a series. I don't remember. Didn't see who sent that. Susan, I never tell anybody that Yes to Everything is a series, only because that book has been out since 2012. And, it is a book that's, since you clearly haven't read it yet, it's something that's, very powerful, and it's not something I've been able to go back into yet. So, it is a series. From day one, I knew it would be a series. But I haven't gone back to that place yet. So, it'll be wonderful. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We have different voices for the characters. I see the issue. See, that's especially difficult for me when you take something like the barter system into effect. They only hire one voice artist. And because the barter system is from Ria's point of view, it would be in a woman's voice. And I have a very serious problem with a woman, like I just like don't speak Sean's sorry, Shayne, looking at my own name. Don't speak Sean's lines or Victor's lines or Lucas's lines in a woman's voice trying to pretend to be a man. And then I thought about the M's, and they're British, and someone's going to make me really angry. So I don't think I could, I don't think I can handle it. Like, I think honestly with something like TBS, it's going to have to eventually, the only way I would really feel confident about it is if it were done, I don't know. Do you guys remember back in the 90s when what was it? Red Shoe Diaries or something? It was like Cinemax or Showtime. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. But if they did something like that, if eventually somebody actually noticed the barter system and did something like that, then I think they could do it justice. But just reading my lines, some woman reading my lines and going, and speaking in the voices of my subjects, I would probably want to slit her throat. Just saying. So the Quiet series will most likely be first. And the... Oh, hi, Cassie. I just saw your comment. There's a delay. So the Quiet series will be the first one coming out. And then I'll probably do the second volume of the companion series, because that is like burning up my brain. There are so many new stories in the second one too. And then it will probably be Obsession. Oh, a man? See, I might consider a man reading something. Not the barter system still, because those voices to me, like, I know what they sound like in my brain, and they're so unique to me in my mind. But if it were one single male character throughout, one primary male character throughout, that I might be able to get behind. Yes, the actual name is in the Quiet series. Thank you for not being a dick. Let me see. I'm so sorry. Like, everything is just... Oh, and more Charlize, please. I'm really glad that you guys like the initial stuff of Charlize. For those of you who don't, no harm, no foul. I understand. She's a little much. She's a little bit out there. Basically, what Charlize started, that section of stuff started because there were scenes that I've cut from every single book that I've ever done. Every time I write a book or treat a book, I have a discard file. And anything that I go through and I'm like, wow, you really, like, you're going too far. Stop it, ho. And I'll put it in the discard file. And my discard files, as you can imagine, have gotten a little overwhelming. So I started taking some of the discard files and I'd be like, oh, let me just write this little story, or, oh, let me just do this, or let me do that. And then I would write a story and realize, like with Gregory from the Barter System, in the original version of the Barter System, once Rhea leaves the barbecue with Ricardo, she basically, Gregory, I think, gets 3 paragraphs, something like that. Not much at all. So when I treated it and I added Gregory's filled out scene, I loved it so much, and I always had him kind of like tucked in the back of my mind. And then I did the In Training short story, which also led back to Gregory. And so when I was doing the companion volume, Jana, we were just, kind of spitballing ideas back and forth about different characters that people ask about that always seem, they're like smaller characters, not necessarily main characters from the books, but people that have an impact, characters that have an impact. So, and she mentioned Gregory, and immediately his entire story downloaded in my brain, and I just had to get it written, and I think it came out great. It is pushing a little bit. It's pushing a little bit. And honestly, your your feedback on the Queen's Castle and Benevolent Masters, which was, Rhea and the M's, your feedback on that is kind of what gave me a little bit more courage, a little bit more confidence about telling you about Charlize. Because, as you know, last year when I did it, when I was publishing them as a male author, other than a very, very tiny circle of people, nobody knew. Nobody knew. I kept that stuff completely sealed off. Yes, you're gonna get a lot of hollow. You might get sick of hollow. I don't know. You guys can let me know. Oh yeah, the correct pronunciation of Rhea's name is Rhea. I've heard people pronounce it all different ways, but it's a completely made up name. I did not want to name her Maria. I did not want to name her just like a boring name. But I really just kind of made it up. Because back then when I used to check, like I checked the baby name books, to find names for characters and stuff. And back then, Rhea didn't exist. So, Red Diaries, that is it. Die fake woman. See, right? I mean, can you imagine if she was trying to do a British accent, a woman imitating a man that has a British accent? Oh, you just want to you just want to throat punch her. Okay. Yeah, I don't think a movie would do it justice at all. I think honestly it would have to be a series. I watched one episode, and I don't know what channel or anything it was on. I watched one episode, I think when I was traveling for something. An episode of, God, what was it? Hung, Hung, and it's about a male prostitute. And I thought to myself, holy crap, in this type of format, something like that would work. Like you could basically parcel them up, And now there's such a huge call for the 8-episode seasons, like what Netflix is doing. Amazon Prime is also doing that. Their original stuff, just doing like 8 episodes, dropping them, down for their viewers to watch, and then then they come back for another season. I think that's a format that something like the Barter System could actually. It would be justice done to it if it was in a format like that. I do not think that the Barter System would ever fit in a regular like movie type of format. I don't think that would work. The framework just wouldn't be conducive. I do think The Hermit would be an excellent movie. I think Completely Wrecked would be an excellent movie. There's a bunch, but the Barter System series is a little bit difficult. I think it's got too many moving parts. I think without the beginning parts or the ending parts, it gets a little like there's too much going on. I think you really have to read it to get the full thing of it. But I know you guys are like Game of Thrones, huge Game of Thrones fans. I know there's a ton of them. I can't watch it. It's too violent for me. But I read the episodes and I go on the show forums and talk to, and see what people are saying about the episodes and stuff, because I just can't physically watch it myself. I just can't do it. But one thing that is a pretty big consensus is that I guess the books were not originally written to the incredible outcome of the way the show, whoever is doing the screenwriting and everything for HBO is clearly doing it right. Because, I've seen just like a few little excerpts from the book. And if I was reading, if I picked up one of his books, I did pick one up in Books A Million a few weeks ago, and it didn't grab me at all. Like, it's not something I would personally want to read. But the show is fantastic. So I think that if done right, I think some shows do better, in a series format. And I think Barter System would definitely be one. Obsession is a previous book, but it being treated, it will be. Sorry, all the Charlize watching porn. Charlize is a lot like watching porn. She really is. She really is. Okay, so Charlize right now has two separate series. She's got the Brotherhood series, which, yes, is 95% MM. Now, I have more of that because I originally, as I said, published the Brotherhood series as a male author who wrote exclusively MM. And then I have the other books, which are the Dirty Bastard books. And those books were originally, I started a website for him too. I had two males. I had two male pen names. One was the Brotherhood series and one was the Dirty Bastard series. So the Brotherhood series is specifically just, I mean, there is some straight and multi-partner and stuff like that, but it's primarily MM. The other pen name, it's just kind of a free-for-all. That is where all the really, really dirty stuff. Those of you who have seen excerpts of Eating the Cake, it will probably, that book, one of the reasons I have not released it is because it's extremely explicit. And I love the story. It's a great story. I love it, but it is raunchy from beginning to end. So that book will probably end up being published under Charlize. Because it's too much. Let me see. Yes, they would cut a ton of it if they did do a series on it. Yeah, there'd have to be a lot. Okay, let me just catch up. Okay, so I think we're pretty much caught up. Did I have anything? Sabrina, I'm going back and forth. There's several things that I want to do for Sabrina. I have two more books that I had previously published for her that have they're basically being gutted, treated, doubled. They'll probably end up doubled in size. I can't decide which to do because there's also a new book that I want to share with you guys, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure what I'm releasing for Sabrina. I won't know until I just dive into it and go completely nuts. Charlize, I am going to, in the first week of February, I'm releasing a set of short stories. It's just, they're Brotherhood short stories. It's just Brotherhood short stories. So if you're into that, you'll have those. And then in the middle of February, I'm releasing Noah. Do not get accustomed to getting her books so close together. I do write Charlize's stuff very quickly because while there is emotion, it's not as deep, as difficult sometimes to write as my Shayne emotional stuff. So you will get the Charlize stuff probably faster than you expect, but don't get used to getting something like every 2 weeks because I can't keep up that pace just because of content more than anything else. I love that. Don't cut anything out. Oh, thank you guys. Let me see. What else? Does anybody have any more questions or anything else you want to go over? Oh, the Shayne releases in February. I think I said Silence and Volume 2. And then I think it's going to be Obsession. Because as much as I'm dying to get Obsession finished, I really need to get the other two out first, and then I can finish Obsession. We need to clone you. I wish. I wish I just had 4 hands to type, like a computer in front of me and a computer behind me, like some arms in my back. That would be awesome. I think that's really about it. And I think I did say that when I do release the print books, all the updates will be in there and any extras. Just because I love that. Oh, the next live event is, hold on. I think it's going to be February 19th. If that's, I need to make sure that Jana's here because she kind of reminds me and keeps me on track and everything. super famous and bigger than us, please. Please. I'll probably never be super famous. But I would like to make enough to where I can stop trying to split my brain into 12 different compartments. That would be super helpful. So far, I haven't in the years that I've been publishing. My writing and my health content even combined have not yet replaced the salary I was making when I was laid off. So really, that's my goal. I can't focus completely on writing until I can get to a point, at least know I have my corporate salary so that I can afford stuff like insurance and health insurance and stuff like that. Right now, I'm probably several grand below that, and I just can't do it. I can't do full-time writing until I hit a certain benchmark, because that's what I have to, that's what you have to survive. And so I'm never gonna be like Rowling or E.L. James or anything like that. I'm not expecting that. I don't think that will ever happen, but it really would be nice just to squirrel out every day on my writing. That would be amazing. I always love the 13th. The 13th and the 17th. Those are really good. Those are really good dates for me. Super, it's so funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. I have been putting these on YouTube so that you can go back and watch them later, because I know they kind of disappear down the things. I don't know how you find anything on this group. I really don't. It just spins out crazy. Yes, so in a little bit, I probably won't get it uploaded till tomorrow, but once I upload it, I'll do a link to, or Jana, if you've got it handy, do a link to the YouTube channel. But they're all here. I just never know. Like, I don't like anything being exclusively just sitting on Facebook. I always feel that they could just shut down a group or shut down this or shut down that at any time. I don't leave anything just here so that it can just disappear. So that's about it, guys. I think we're good. I'm so happy you guys had so much fun. Your comments are hysterical. This is a blast for me. It kind of gives me a break. I really enjoy it. And I'll see you guys on the 19th. Other than that, I'll try to figure out some way to do some sort of like a group chat or something, so I can let you know when I'm doing a session of writing. I can't promise that it's not gonna be at 3 a.m. for you wherever you happen to be, but at least you'll have the notification. If you're up binge watching Netflix, maybe you can pop on over. Other than that, I'm gonna finish the rest of my coffee and love you guys, and I will see you later.